trench, you're gonna bore, you're gonna use aerial holes. I mean, these are all basic questions, and are these covered in? We can't ask questions unless we see the data.
So some of that is already in the environmental impact assessment, but the environmental management plan will flesh out a little bit more.
Like things, what are they gonna do with the garden? What are they gonna do with gray water? What are they gonna do with livestock?
Yes.
What are they gonna bury this trench?
So have you seen the environmental impact assessment?
No, they have to be publicized.
Please read the environmental impact assessment, and you have 21 days to come back with any comments.
I can get it on the DEP site?
You can, no. You can get the document on
Samson Key project.
on Samson Key.
Yeah. The website is samsungkeyproject.com, and there's a link there. The document has been there for the past 30 days.
I didn't know that, so it's a regular PDF, EIS
Yes.
site.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a download link on the site.
All right, good, thank you.
Yeah.
So this mic is transmitted online. This mic.
It's
Sorry, sir, can you tell me your name? John.
John from NASA.
Okay, so we have one mic. All right. So for those of you that have not read the documents, Misha, please see if you can unmute. They should be able to do it now. Give this up. Okay.
It's possible that
John, what's your last name?
Steers.
Stairs. S-T-E-R-D.
What's the name? Stears.
S-T-A, oh, stairs. S-T-A-R-S.
SDEA.
S-T-E-A-R-S. Stairs, like stairs, but with a T. Perfect. Okay, we have Mr. Darville unmuted. Mr. Darville, let's try you again, please.
Hello?
Mr. Darville?
He get this question on.
Joe is 85.
Like you see, I'm talking.
Oh, it seems like other people are able to unmute their mic.
Yeah.
You can unmute. Joe's just not doing whatever he needs to do.
Is our volume on?
Yeah.
Is the volume of this
Yes, one is on.
Okay, yeah. Okay, Mr. Davis, Dr. Davis.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Leno Davis. I am the owner of Science and Perspective and Chief Scientist for Science and Perspective. I have a lot of technical questions. So I have read the whole EIA. To start with, I have some issues related to the timelines. So when you did your timelines, you weren't very specific with how much time you spent on the island, how long the surveys were conducted. So some of those issues, I think I would need to see them for me to be able to evaluate whether or not there was enough time spent into water for you to accurately represent the number of fish species or how often turtles come by and stuff like that. I actually also went in the water around Samson Key recently, so I got to snorkel through the areas that are around where the marinas would be, where the proposed dock up north, as well as the marinas down south would be. So I've physically seen those spaces. Inside your document, where you say no action alternatives, your representation of no action alternatives was basically they have trash on the island now, and when we go there, there's not going to be trash on the island because we're going to pick it up. But I feel that's a really poor representation of how much trash a 150 person, that's just the resident workers would actually create on that island. So I do not think that your no action alternative is an accurate representation of what the changes to that island would actually be. Also, you don't really mention that your action will actually change the presence of those wetlands and stuff like that. So perhaps we could have the EPP clarify what no action alternatives could include or should not include. I don't know if you want me to go through all of this before you reply. I saw you taking notes earlier. I don't know if you want to take some notes because this could get a little bit deep. with the sediment transport discussion as well, I actually, I did some satellite imagery checks. So I went and I reviewed the satellite imagery and some of your statements about there not being sediment in that area to replenish that beach. That doesn't seem true to me because there is shifts in the beach where the beach accretes and moves year to year and season to season, which implies that storms can actually change that beach. And then there's sediment that comes back and replenishes it naturally, as well as the seagrass beds inside that area. They're actually growing over time. So from 2013 to 2023, I think, I was able to see actual growth and accretion in the size of those seagrass beds. So because those seagrass beds are actually growing, and we have a prime minister who is actively engaging with the conservation of seagrass and protection of our blue carbon, it seems very challenging if we're going to impact the seagrass. And with the assessment that you all did inside the EIA, and I don't think you presented it here, but inside the EIA you used the Mike 21 model application, which showed how if you put pollution inside your marina, how it transports around the marina. But you could use that same application to depict sediment transport from those coastal areas around, like where you have that the proposed dock up north. And when that water comes inside there and that sediment transports, you're gonna smother all that seagrass in there. And I think that's like 4 acres of seagrass, right? So if that seagrass is growing now and you put that in, you're gonna smother that seagrass. So that's gonna take away from that area. And I don't know how many people inside this room actually use that area for tours, for snorkeling, going to see sea turtles and stuff like that. But I was only there for a couple of hours and I saw 4 or 5 sea turtles, right? And so that was really powerful for me to see that there. And if you put something like this in here, you're probably going to impact them really bad.
So, Dr. Davis, I'm gonna ask that you share this document with me. You can leave that with me, or you can send that to me electronically. We've already had some environmental conservationists like yourself send us documents directly. And we have shared some information with Ron and the developers that will be updated in the EAA relative to the sandbanks and the sediment transport. So if you could please send us the full document, and we will ensure that all of their concerns are addressed.
Okay, I would appreciate that, and I will definitely send you this. There's just a few more really technical things that I want to highlight with the team. There's a lot of the numbers that didn't make sense to me. So with your environmental water quality assessment, for example, the device that you use, when it registers as 0 for turbidity, it's nearly impossible for you to get 0 turbidity inside the salt water.
Okay, so I think we're getting very much.
Well, I'm just making the point that
Yes, no,
the
and I
data
want-
collection might have been problematic. And
I
I
want-
would like for the people inside this room to be able to hear it so that they also have in their minds kind of what other people are thinking. And I mean, I really respect all the people who are sitting here, but at the same time, I think the public consultation is not just about me expressing my concerns or you hearing my concerns, but for the community to hear the concerns of other people.
No, I take that, but I mean, you're standing here talking about turbidity, and I'm sure a lot of people in here don't understand what turbidity is. So we need to have another conversation. So I would really ask that you send me that document and we make sure that all 15 pages of those are addressed effectively.
It's a little bit more than 15 pages.
Okay, I'm getting some feedback now. Let me turn it down just a little bit. You gonna leave this with me now and then send it to me
Not
electronically?
just that. I'm gonna have a couple of updates and stuff as well. But
Okay.
I just wanted to point out your pH data, your oxygen data, and your turbidity data. They need check-in and verification for the numbers. They don't make sense for the device that you're using. It might have been faulty at the time, or it wasn't reading correctly. The next thing is, like, just from the size of the thing, so this is less technical. From the size of what y'all have, and saying 150 people.
Size of what?
The size of the residences, the size of the project, the development. The whole of the Exuma Keys has kind of a style, a feeling of come to Exuma, because it's hardly anybody here, and it's beautiful like that. With that many people, just thinking, you guys do hotel developments, and none of the developments that you said were awarded are in a place like the Exuma Keys. And you have 150 people working there, flushing the toilet 4 times a day, right? That amount of waste, the amount of work that you have to do to take care of that waste is really significant. And so that cannot be minimized. And also, like talking about using water to spray down the dust and stuff, the water has to come from somewhere. So you have to think about how you're generating that water and where it's coming from as well. And having those 2 restaurants and comparing it to Rosewood and Bahamar, will you have Bahamian people actually be able to go to those restaurants that you have? Will you have the people here that will be regularly trafficking that and still be able to keep the footprint down? I do not think it's possible personally, and I have worked in global certificates for sustainable tourism, and it's just not reasonable in my opinion, in my professional considered opinion. And I do have more comments, but I'll let some more people take the mic.
Hello.
So you can address the last 2 points and we'll respond
Of
to
course,
one
the
technical.
rest was very technical. Yes, answering your question. Any Bahamian can go to our restaurants, as any Bahamian can go to Bahamar or any hotel. So welcome the Bahamians. As I know a lot of people here.
That was my question. It wasn't if Bahamians can go in, it's if you have Bahamians to go into the hotel, if you have enough clientele that will actually use that hotel. And that's a different.
It's up to them to decide if they wanna attend the hotel. I cannot put pressure to them to come to the hotel. Okay? Did I answer your question?
Not really, but I think the people in the room understand what I'm saying. It's not the Exuma style.
How do you know this that if you can't even
Oh, we know the style.
we go, yeah.
Their questions talking about the style.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Kieran has some, lots of comments that need to be.
Comments and questions online.
Okay, I'm gonna get you right now, okay? Let's go to
I like to
the,
see Kieran's questions.
we'll go in order of count. We'll go up to, go from category, okay? So we make sure I'm not forgetting.
Way up. Kieran has some number of questions. Yeah.
Okay, so that's, we read category.
No. That is her response to you.
Oh, okay. All right, so, hold on, go up. We make sure we're not missing that.
All right. See that there's still lots of
Are
questions.
people online can have an opportunity to ask questions?
Yes,
See this, is it, sorry, people that can't speak is because they haven't unmuted.
There's only one gentleman.
All right,
Joe
so
Dowd,
go up a little
85
bit
years
more.
old, challenged. Everyone else can speak. You got it.
all right, so we can go from, go up to Mark.